Hey guys, it's Luca from Learning MTG, and today I'm going to go over another 5-0, another trophy. This is my updated deck list. I think this deck is really strong actually. Um, so what have I changed recently? Recently I've gone up to 4 Sylvan Caryatid. I think Luca is just the way you want to build the deck, just because it's really strong. Turning a 2-drop into an Atraxa just is really good for 5 mana. Feels kind of like natural order. Um, it turns out like you can cast it pretty easily between Sylvan Caryatid and Oath of Nissa and Plaza of Heroes. You have like a lot of tools to let you cast it, even though it's only the red card in your deck. Um, so that's probably the biggest change. Is I went up to 4 Sylvan Caryatid. I no longer am playing any of the Relic of Legends. Um, yeah, I think that's the only change that I made to the main deck. Everything else is just like I'm really happy with 3 Karn, 3 Luca, 3 Atraxa. I think it's hard to go down to 2 Atraxa just because there's going to be too many situations where you draw your Atraxas and you can't flip into it with Luca, or there's going to be situations where you're really trying to keen in into an Atraxa. So I think you really need 3 Atraxa. Kind of same thing with Karn. Although I could maybe see cutting down to 2 Karns. Luca, it's hard to play 4 copies, but maybe 4 copies is correct just because there's so many like games you just win by just playing Luca on turn 3 or turn 4. Um, I think I'm happy with 19 lands. I'm not sure if like 18, 19, 20 is correct. Probably 19 or 20. Also, I'm not totally sure about like how many elves you want to play, but I've been pretty happy with 5 elves. In terms of the sideboard, the one thing I've changed recently is I'm playing like Darksteel Citadel, Ren and Realmbreaker, and Treasure Cruise, and I cut like some of the Karn targets that I don't go for as often. I feel like in certain matchups, like against Black Red, probably against any deck that has like a ridiculous amount of removal, that's just there's just no way that you can basically line up your Retraction Helix plus Rona. I just want to side out my Retraction Helixes and now I want to play like grindier cards. So against like certain versions of Black Red, if they're playing enough removal, I might want to cut like 2 or 3 Retraction Helix and then put in like these 3 cards. Maybe also put in like a Sky Sovereign or like a Haywire Might. I don't know, Reckoner Bankbuster. But basically, the idea is like I'm just gonna give up on trying to combo against certain matchups because there's a lot of times you'll lose with this deck when you draw like all your attraction helixes and they kill your Ronas and you just have too many dead cards and you lose, or maybe you draw like a bunch of Mox Ambers and they kill all your legendary creatures. So that's basically my idea of like how I've changed the sideboard. I lost some nice stuff. What did I have in here that was cool? I had like the Stone Brain. I had the 9-drop Portal to Phyrexia. So I had like some cool, basically like silver bullets for certain situations. But I took out the ones that I just didn't find myself looking for as often, and then gave myself this option to basically like side in kind of like a pseudo transformation. It's not really a transformational sideboard because you're only siding in 3 or 4 cards, but you are just kind of like moving away from the combo, like taking out almost all your attraction helixes and being like, I just give up on trying to combo. I'm just gonna try to grind you out with card advantage, which this deck can do fine. You're playing cards like Luca into Atraxa, Karn, Tyvar. You have a lot of card advantage naturally in this deck. Um, so let's just get into the games. I'll try to go through them quickly. This is a nice 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. Let's go through some of these games. So I think I got a ridiculous amount of turn 3 combos with this deck. So here I'm going turn 1 Oath, grab a land. This hand's crazy. Any like Keenan Mox Amber hand's really good. Opponent plays turn 1 Kumano. I drew Rona, which is like the best draw. So Keenan, Mox, Rona, like these starts are crazy, especially if you're on the play. Opponent kills the Keenan, and I just combo, right? so that's a nice turn 3 win. Let's see, can I go back? I don't think so. Okay. So it's one of those situations where I have to go over here now. Okay. So let's do it. So basically I just had like the perfect draw. My opponent didn't have any way to stop me. So that was game 1. Game 2. Opponent plays Phoenix Chick. I think like this is one of the worst versions of red. It's just not scary at all. I'm much more scared by the prowess guys. Okay, so he kills my Elvish Mystic, I go with him Elvish Mystic. I'm totally cool if he wastes another spell to kill my Elvish Mystic. He doesn't. But now I can keen in into Sylvan Carroted. Basically like this deck, so the way you play this deck is, at least the way I play it, which I think is probably the correct way to play it, is you just don't worry about Rona if you're missing 2 combo pieces, right? So if I'm missing the Mox and the Retraction Helix, I'm just not going to bother going for Rona. I'm just going to try to make a bunch of mana and try to like flip into Atraxa. Basically this deck has like lots of different directions you can go. You can try to flip into an Atraxa with Keenan. You can try to get Atraxa with Luca. You can try to combo out with a Karn and like a Paradox Engine or something, or you can try to combo out with Rona, right? So there's like a lot of different avenues, and you basically just have to figure out like what's the most likely avenue for me to win. What you can never win with is you can't win with combat damage with this deck, so just don't worry about combat damage. It's just never how you're gonna win. I mean, don't never say never, but it's just not something I ever worry about when I'm playing this deck. Okay, now I have the Traction Helix, so now the Rona is more appetizing. I'm only 1 piece away. Opponent, it's basically like, so these Phoenix Chicks just didn't do enough damage, didn't put me in enough pressure. He kills the Keenan, and now the Rona is threatening. So just looting. Play this Keenan. I can now flip. Okay, so another thing that happens with this deck is like if you have a lot of green mana and you're missing the Mox Amber, you can just play your Attraction Helix on your Rona and just keep playing Oath of Nissa until you get Karn, and then your Karn gets you the Mox Amber. Because if you have Rona, Retraction Helix, Oath of Nissa, basically it's just 1 green mana. You can just keep playing 1 green mana to Oath of Nissa, which is really good. Okay, so that's basically what happened, and I found my Karn. GG. So opponent not playing an amazing deck. And we had some really, really good draws, so. Okay. On the play again with Llanowar Elves feels pretty good. Opponent doesn't have a turn 1 play. Okay, I drew Keenan, so now I can just Keenan Sylvan Carroted, and now I can already play Atraxa next turn. If he doesn't do anything. Okay, he plays Blood Tide Harvest, so I can just play Atraxa. Right, so this is like an argument for why this deck is really, really strong, is because like I have a turn 3 kill in my deck. I have Rona, right? Retraction Helix Mox. Here's a completely different draw. It doesn't use Rona, doesn't use Retraction Helix, doesn't use Mox, and it lets me play turn 3 Atraxa, which is also effectively kind of like a turn 3 kill. And so this game's just totally over, obviously. I can also play my Mox Amber and my Rona. Okay, opponent scoops. Also a theme with this league is my draws were really, really good. So above average draws, definitely. This is a totally fine hand against red-black. Basically, they're probably going to Thoughtseize you, so. Okay, this is not a good play by my opponent. Turn 1 Python Needle, blind. Should probably wait to see like what I have before you Python Needle. Okay, but now I can do this, and this, and this. Okay, Fatal Push is my guy, but I still got the 1 mana. Find Rona. And now I'm threatening Karn next turn. He plays Fable. I draw Keenan, which is perfect, and I can play Karn. I can find Mox Amber, play the Mox Amber, play the Rona, and I'm looking at 2, 4, 6, 10 mana next turn. Okay, he kills my Keenan. and it makes me discard my card in my hand. I just block. I'm just so far ahead here. Draw my run in 6, flip, get a tie bar, just attack for 1, cheeky attack, because my Rona's going to untap anyways. Bring back Keenan, kill his treasure token, super far ahead. I have 3 planeswalkers in play. He only has 4 lands in play. I have like 10 mana in play. Yeah, I mean, so this is kind of an argument for like why you don't want to. I cited out a lot of my retraction helixes here. It's because you just don't need it. Like against red black, once you get this far ahead in card advantage, you just snowball. You don't really need to combo at all. Okay, so that was the second round. Now let's go to round 3 of the league. Okay. Sand's fine, especially on the play. Turn 2 Sylvan Carrots is not horrible. Okay, second retraction helix. So another reason I found to really like Sylvan Carrots is it combos really well with retraction helix, because it gives you a hexproof target to hit with retraction helix. Opponent plays light pause, so I'm just gonna try to counter whatever he puts on his light pause. So Equi's form, okay. Maybe I should have waited for him to play more stuff on his light pause. I don't know. I figured I was so far ahead that I just don't care, but I probably could have played that better. Okay, I find Luca, so now I'm ready to do Luca right away. So I turned my thing into an Atraxa, and that was the worst Atraxa of my life. I only got a Sylvan Carroted and a Plaza of Heroes, but I don't think it matters, because this seems pretty good against whatever he's gonna do. Okay, and he also is like short on enchantments, so. So basically here I'm just like, I want to hold up this retraction helix. And what do I get with Karn? I get Paradox Engine, threatening to kill him next turn if he doesn't kill me, basically. Again, against like most decks, retraction helix plus Paradox Engine is a good game. Okay, so that was the first game against Light Pause. His hand wasn't that good. I think this is a pretty good matchup. You kind of like combo faster than them, and then, okay, that was a really good draw. Drew Retraction Helix. So play turn 1 Oath. He has a really bad draw. Probably should have mulliganed this. So I could potentially win next turn if I draw Mox. Don't draw Mox. Play Sylvan Carroted pass. I'm threatening a kill next turn if he can't interact with me. It's definitely possible. You could have, like Boseiju, or you could have something to mess me up here. So I just go for the combo here. First bounce the Oath of Nissa just to get that free Oath of Nissa if he has somewhere to stop my combo, which he does. So that's a nice trick you can do with this deck, is like if you're going for the combo, you can like try to bounce an Oath of Nissa or like something useful, usually only Oath of Nissa, so that if they do stop the combo, you still got like an Oath of Nissa for your Retraction Helix, so you're like kind of even on cards. But I still just can probably kill him here, depending on what I get. So I Luca, I'm trying to just flip into Atraxa and hit another Retraction Helix so I can win again. So I Atraxa, he just scoops. He's seen enough. Okay. So this is a deck I played against. Oh, never mind. What deck was this? Oh, this was a the landfall deck. So I played against a lot of like wonky tier 2 decks, honestly, this league, so maybe not the best example. Again, I have the combo here again, if he can't interact with me. He has probably like the best draw in his deck. I don't know, maybe not. But it's like turn 3, he's playing 8,000 things. But I also have the best draw in my deck. I draw the combo, I have turn 3 kill. GG. So yeah, my draw was, both had really good draws, but I think my deck's just like stronger, so I won. Okay, this hand's totally fine. Really good. He plays turn 1 fetch land, I play turn 1 elf. He does not have the growth spiral this time, so I feel like I'm pretty far ahead here. So again, since I didn't have like anything else to combo with the Rona, I'd rather just try to play this turn 3 Atraxa. Or even if I didn't have Atraxa, I'd rather still do this so that I could just turn 3 spin my Keenan. He kills my Keenan, sadly. All I can do is play this Rona, sadly. Plays Chain to the Rocks. Okay, I have to. Still can't do anything. Really sucks when you draw multiple Atraxas. I'm in a lot of trouble here. Although I can play Atraxa next turn, so if he doesn't do anything too devastating, I can probably scrape a win from here. Omnath doesn't have a fetch land. I actually feel pretty good here because I get to play my Atraxa now. So obviously in these types of situations where your opponent also has like a snowballing deck, you just want to try to get the combo with your Atraxa. So I believe I should grab Luca here. Okay. I can also play this Mox Amber, leave up Boseiju, get this Rona back. So my plan is to try to get Rona and then try to combo him next turn. So he's got a lot of messed up things going on here. Makes 1,000 mana. Cycles Omnath. Puts Gigant in his hand. So now I'm just going to try to go for the kill here. Get my Rona back with Boseiju. And now I get to look at the top like 12 cards to try to get a Retraction Helix and win the game. Attack first. Get that 7 life. And play another Atraxa. Somehow I do not find a Retraction Helix, which is very bad for me. Basically means I have to pass the turn back to him. Despite drawing 8,000 cards, I have not gotten a Retraction Helix yet. So I have to pass, but luckily somehow he doesn't win either this turn, so I kill him on the next turn. Okay, he plays Omnath, which is a good sign for me. This is when it starts to get scary though, because he gets a Risen Reef, which basically probably theoretically lets him draw his whole deck, depending on what happens. Can copy his Risen Reef, plays a 3rd Risen Reef. Every time he plays an elemental, he gets to draw 3 cards. Doesn't look good for me. I thought I was going to die this turn, for sure. Chain to the Rocks, my Atraxa. I don't know why he didn't kill my Rona, honestly. He really should have killed my Rona. He probably would have won the game if he killed my Rona. And now I can just try to go for the kill. I figure if he... Okay, I was not expecting Dobin's Veto, that sucked. But I just have so much mana here, I can Tiber back my Keenan. And I can do lots of stuff. So, get Keenan back. And now I'm just looking for Retraction Helix. I should be able to find it. I have so many looks. I probably have like 15 looks to get a Retraction Helix. Okay, got a Retraction Helix. So that's GG. I can combo from here. Even if he had like a Leyline Binding or something, I can just Plaza of Heroes my Rona. So that's that. I won't bore you guys with the clicky. And let's go to the last round. I'm playing against the blue-white control Lotus Field deck, which a lot of people are playing now. I think is a great matchup for my deck somehow. I kind of don't want to play against blue-white control with this type of deck, but at the same time, like, that version of the deck has way less interaction. So it's like easier for them to like tap out and you combo them. And they have less like 2 mana counter spells. So opponent goes turn 3, Strict Proctor, Lotus Field, which is honestly perfect for me because I can just win the game now. So something to note here is like, okay, you have Rona, Mox Amber, Retraction Helix, but you don't. This is not actually like a win here, right? Because you can only make infinite blue mana. So you need to actually find something with your Oath of Nisses. Okay. So the real plan here is you need to get rid of the Strict Proctor because you need to keep playing Oath of Nissa. So first you want a Retraction Helix, then you want to bounce the Strict Proctor, then you probably want to just like keep playing Oath of Nisses. Hopefully you hit any. If you hit any Planeswalker, you're fine. You win the game off of any Planeswalker. Because if you have an Oath of Nissa in play, you can play any Planeswalker in your deck with just blue mana. So that's basically the plan. So gonna Retraction Helix, bounce, then play. You could play Mox Amber in a land, so then you'll have 4. I guess the Mox Amber doesn't give you green mana though, so you will have 4 more chances, or 3 more chances to find a Planeswalker. You basically get to Oath of Nissa 3 or 4 times, however the math works, and if you get a Planeswalker in one of those 3 or 4 times, then you win the game, which is pretty good odds. Also, if you hit like a Keenan, you can win the game. And so on my second Oath of Nissa, I hit Karn, so that's game. So nice little turn 3 combo. Again, my draws were really, really strong this league. A lot of turn 3 kills. Yeah. Okay. Last game of the league. So he said, I have met the deck similar to you 3 times. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I thought that I was the only one playing this deck. Like, I'm pretty sure I came up with this deck. So here I get punished because I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to side out one of my Retraction Helixes for a Treasure Cruise against a control deck, but oh my god, this Treasure Cruise would be way better if it was a Retraction Helix right here. Yeah, so I got kind of punished by that. Not sure if that was incorrect or not. Opponent has 2 tap lands, so I feel very far ahead right now. Play turn 2 Rona. Opponent plays turn 2 Strict Proctor, Lotus Field. So again, I'm just kicking myself here for like having this Treasure Cruise, but I have lots of chances to try to get Retraction Helix. So I'm looting. So here I can play Luca because I have double Mox Amber. The only problem is if I play Luca and then flip this into an Atraxa, I don't get to use its come into play ability. So I'd rather actually just play Karn here, I think. I play Karn, and my opponent just has seen enough. He just scoops here. He probably had a chance to win, but he didn't want to play anymore. So what would I have done in this case? I mean, one of the options is to find another Mox Amber, and then I can play my Treasure Cruise. Another option would be to just like get something strong like I don't know, like a Sky Sovereign or like a Paradox Engine. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. I didn't play against the strongest decks. You know, I only played against 1 black red. I didn't play against like, I think like a lot of your worst matchups of the decks just have a crazy amount of removal. Like maybe the red black sacrifice deck, or maybe like some versions of blue red. I also think spirits can be a bad matchup, blue white spirits. although it's probably like 55-45 or like 60-40, it's not like horrible. So I didn't play against any of those bad matchups, but I think this deck is super super strong. Luca makes the deck a lot better. Really happy with Luca. And I think it's just been I've just played it so much. I think it's just like the mana base is really nice. I'm really happy with how the lands work. Um, and just like the balance of the different ways the deck can do stuff. Like there's draws that work with Rona, then there's draws that work without Rona where you have Keenan. So yeah, that's it. I hope I hope this video was helpful. I hope you take this deck out and try it. I think it's super strong. Let's pull up the deck list one more time. Also, like my constructed rating is like 1860, so that's usually like 75 to 80% win rate. So I'm winning a lot with this deck. You also get like a lot of element of surprise because it's not like a popular deck yet, so a lot of people aren't like completely sure what you're doing. It's also just kind of a sweet deck to play, right? Like look at how many planeswalkers you have, and like look how many colors you're playing. You're playing all the colors. Yeah, so that's it. My name's Luca. This is Learning MTG. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.